ADM Stavridis, the Dean at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, and I've got three interesting questions I want to address today. The first is, where do I see myself in 2035? Well, I'll be 80 years old, and I see myself running a bait shop in Florida, and hopefully still getting out on the tennis court every day, which is to say, still vigorous, still engaged, but enjoying myself perhaps a little bit more than I do in the hectic moments of 2016. In terms of key issues that I think will be swirling around the world in 2035, I'll put at the very top of the list the issues of biology. I think the world will move very rapidly over the next 2 decades in ways that will impact our lives fundamentally because of sequencing the human genome, of being able to use CRISPR and other techniques to actually manipulate the human genome, genetically altered crops, energy from biomass in truly efficient ways. All of this, tied with demographics, are going to profoundly change the landscape of the world. Secondly, and no surprise here, I think cyber will be an incredibly important issue because our lives will be incredibly intertwined with information. And this is what some have called, for example, Ray Kurzweil, the futurist, the singularity. When that world of biology hits that world of information and technology, profound changes are coming, very unpredictable ones. And then lastly, I think as a key issue, we're going to see the rise of India in this century. We spend a lot of time thinking and talking about China and its place in the world, the European Union and whether it holds together and moves forward. What will the United States be doing? Brazil, many countries will be important. But I think by 2035, events surrounding India will be perhaps dominant and determinative of the direction of the international system. We'll know more in 2035. What I do know is how the United States should prepare itself for this kind of a world. And I'll give you 4 things we should concentrate on. One is we ought to continue to pursue policies that internationalize our global approach. And that means working with allies, coalition partners, and friends, and continuing to try and build global coalitions to address these kinds of issues. The environment is a very powerful example of where we've done a reasonably good job of addressing those kinds of things. Secondly, within the United States, we need to get our interagency working together better. At the moment, unfortunately, we still continue to be very siloed in our approach. So I think anything that works to singularize the efforts of the interagency will be profoundly important in 2035. Thirdly, in the end, all that we achieve will not be because of governments. It'll be because of the private sector. So how the private sector and the public world, the government, can work together in things like cyber, in things like the environment, in things like bio, will be crucially important. We're not very good at that at the moment. We could be a lot better. And then fourth and finally, I think in our toolkit, we need a better means of describing what we're trying to do. Some call this strategic communications, strategic narrative, going to the people of the world, talking about the important issues, explaining what governments are doing, how they're cooperating with the private sector, how we're working together as an international coalition. Those kind of conversations will be even more important in 2035 than they are today. Well, who knows how it all comes out, but I'll be glad to do another video in 2035 and we can see how well I predicted it in 2016. Thank you very much.